my screen, madam?
Yes.
Okay. So it's a case study, and based on it, I derived my challenges, I did synthesis and the design approaches. So it's the Pollen Gandel Children's Gallery in Melbourne, Australia. So these are the things that I'm going to highlight. First, the analysis on that, on the museum, and that museum has a children gallery inside it, and then the studies on children's need, and then the synthesis. So the Melbourne Museum in general, it's postmodernist building designed by 3 architects, Denton, Crocker, Marshall. It was managed and completed in 2001. But it actually officially opened in 2000. So this building shows what these are the highlights about what attracted me to the building, why I chose it. So it shows a rich response to the context. It shows because in that area there's an urban development, but at the same time there are the complex in which that museum is historical place. It has it contains history and heritage, so it shows very rich response to that. By
sorry,
having
sorry,
yeah.
Which one is the museum? Is the one next to that?
So, this one. You see my mouse? This one.
Okay. Right now, I'm trying to understand. Right now, you are presenting the your analysis on the precedent study to identify the issue. Is that what you're doing? Eva?
Yeah, madam.
So
can you hear me?
Yes. So you're trying to understand the possible issue from this studies that you're doing, is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also how the building, that museum, responds to the context, to the children's needs, to the history. So all of these all in one. So and then I derive strategies from it. I'll explain later.
Let's see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So this museum shows a contemporary design in an urban development city. And and then it has 2 canopies here. It has two blades, 2 long blades that each act to guide the visitors from the street into the museum. And then it is actually a building that stops time because it is a museum. It contains about 40,000 years of history, with more than, I guess, 17 million objects. So it has these it has artifacts of the people, objects that are valuable, that time has made them valuable, and also the time is their greatest enemy. So that museum acts as something to preserve them, to keep the history alive. And that's something I want to do in my gallery, to stop the effects of time. So this museum preserves the history, and that it tells a story. Each object in it tells a story. So one of the things also is that it connects through the city planning and landscape. So this is how it responds also to the context. The city of Melbourne has a grid planning, so it also has the same thing, and also integrates the landscape of Carlton Gardens. There are gardens around, so the museum here has some outdoor spaces. In the children gallery, I think the children gallery is here, so it has outdoor spaces to connect with the landscape. As just 17 million objects in the, and it also responds to it has the strategy of energy efficiency, and this, which is a section in that museum. So it's an exhibition that is designed uniquely from the range of children from age 0 to 5. It features more than 2,000 square meters of indoor and outdoor activities, with input from children, early childhood educators, landscape designers, and more. So the children, this is the entrance. So through a child-sized tunnel past, and also, yes, madam, can you hear me?
Your line is not very smooth.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yes, maybe you can switch off your video. Sometimes the video is heavy. Yeah, switch off your video. Try to speak.
How to explain? If I just okay, stop video.
Yeah, try.
Okay, how's it now?
Better.
Okay, so this museum has hands-on exploration and discovery, extraordinary immersive environments, and unique museum collection objects. Okay, and also in the outside there are sculptures that tell the indigenous people of Tidalik. This is a frog that symbolizes, I think, a specific story of history in Australia. So this is one of the things that I wanted to also feel, the story of people of Sarawak. So then the architects of that museum, that, can you still hear me?
Yeah, but it's
because it gives me that my connection stable.
It's not very stable.
Okay, just a minute. Maybe I switch to another place. Just a minute, madam. Okay, madam, can you hear me now?
Okay.
Okay. So these are based on the architect's research. So they identified the children's needs in the museum. Young children, they need some things that they can touch, tactile. The older ones need narratives, games, and social. And they also nature focused, like natural elements they want to touch, forests, sea, animals, and also they want to become being scared, like hiding places, and they also want to balance between familiar and unfamiliar, construction activities, pretend and narrative play, sound, music, and light, and they also want to experience high energy spaces. So what the architects did in a response to that is making inclusive additional needs learning styles and diversity, such as if you can see here, in this picture, it shows a sign to the, to enter. I'm sorry, the image is small, I should have increased it. So it says enter. It shows in 6 languages. So this is diversity. And they also have baby rooms for breastfeeding moms. So, and it also has, it's also autism-friendly museum. So it has response to so many things, not only children from 0 to 5, autism, OKU, and so many more. It's also multimodal and high tactile with inclusion of natural materials. There's so many, all the materials around, they can touch, they can feel. Also the consideration of materials, I noticed it's all wood, it's all safe materials, and the seatings are comfortable everywhere. They can sit on the floor, on swings, anywhere. It's very comfortable. And also the place is clean, has durable materials that are robust and cleanable and safe, and also pays high and low areas and activities. So the amenities at the building are child-sized toilets and adult-sized toilets, cafe, feeding rooms, comfortable seatings, enclosed play area for older children, while youngs are being fed, and ample pram parking. So this is just this is the museum in general. It has 3 floors. So the focus is here. The focus is the ground floor. The children gallery. These are pictures of the gallery. Okay, I think I got it confused now. Like it seems confusing because I gathered everything, including the museum itself and the children's art gallery. So I'll come to the synthesis, no worries. Okay, I think I'll come here to explain it. Okay. Okay, so like one of the things, maybe.
Can we see the challenges? The table that you had just now.
Challenges. Yes, this one.
Yeah, this one.
Okay, so in general, like kids getting bored easily. So I want to include colorful interior with an interactive learning activities. I want the building to be learning based, not just to show artworks, but also to like learn to develop their skills while also watching art. They also will be creating art at my museum. And then hygienity, the round-the-clock cleaning services will be implemented. And that's one of the challenges is the gallery not being enclosed, that kids would easily escape from one section to the other, hence difficult to monitor them. So I actually read articles of moms themselves publishing about their trip to the museum and what they have experienced. So maybe we can add partitions to separate sections to contain the kids, to kind of trap them. And also children not being natural audience. I did not add the approach here. And also some say that kids are not natural audience members for most conventional Western art forms, which means that basically some people think that children aren't. Can you still hear me? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm worried the connection. Some people say that children aren't sortable in museums in art because they will like start touching them. They don't have etiquettes, you know, and etiquettes, and they won't be polite at museums. So we'll prove that wrong, because this is mainly gonna highlight the kids, and it's gonna be inclusive for the kids at the first place. And also the children progressing through different development stages. That's one of the challenges. That's why I want to design for a specific group, like from 0 to 7, because it is way more complex to design for kids, to design for a general range, like, because kids are those who are aged 18 and below, but it's very difficult to design from toddlers to adults. That's so difficult to understand their development, to understand their mentality, because each one of them interacts in a different way, and kids go through 10 development stages. So how are you gonna study the development stages of every category of them? So by narrowing it down, it will make the study much easier. And then one of the challenges, adult dominance in galleries. So the approach is to make inclusive design, such as the one that I just showed you. They have a tunnel-sized entrance for the kids. parents can still fit through, but the entrance itself is like the size of a kid. So parents have to bend down a little and it's to enter. And then one of the challenges is crowded spaces. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the first area to get to for when they enter the least exciting. So it's like a warm-up space for them. So it's gonna be less packed, because if the most exciting part of the museum is placed at the entrance, they will get distracted by that thing, and they will make the place crowded. And also that enclosure and weather. So I'm gonna make it partially covered to make it great all-weather place to visit. And also the children's high movement by ensuring only safe and eco-friendly materials are used, as well as exclusion of tall and risky sculptures. I read one of the articles, one of the moms says that there's like a giraffe sculpture. It's very tall. It's kind of scary for the kids. So to take, you know, the object sizes into consideration. So these are like, I'm more focused into the interior right now, studying the behavior of kids. So I also came to the main scopes of the approaches. I want to develop an exhibit that tracks and holds attention of visitors while effectively communicating learning objectives. Not just that they watch art, but they also interact with the art and also make art. So there's gonna be like some parts, like I'm gonna have, for example, like a display of some elements of Sarawak, for example, the subways and wow, you call it wow, right? Wow or something, yeah.
Wow, yeah.
So, yeah.
Kites.
So,
Kites.
Yeah, it's these kites. So it's gonna be like preserved and displayed there in like a glass panel, and at the same time, there's gonna be a place where kids do their own wows. Maybe they color it or they cut it so that they don't just look at it. It also gets immersed in their memory. And also there's gonna be a section where there's like a cosplay for them, not maybe the whole costume, but some elements, maybe the headgear or something, where kids get to, you know, wear the costume and feel it, and like maybe take pictures or something. Instead of displaying the costume of, for example, I want to highlight 3 tribes of Sarawak and like explain about them, it's gonna get boring for the kids. Kids want to touch, they want to feel, they don't want to just watch things. And of course the craft shop for them, you know, to buy any crafts. So also social and family-centered interactivity. We cannot exclude the moms here or any guardians. So it should be a place where let's say an adult is accompanying the kid, or a mom or a father, then it's gonna accommodate all of them. The museum is not gonna have just a kid-sized toilet. So for the breastfeeding mom, there's gonna be a toilet, for example, for her as well to change the diapers for her kid. And also bringing the heritage alive by making the kids themselves create the art. And one thing also is to make it energy efficient design. And that's, I haven't dug deeper into that because I did not basically form a concept yet. I'm more into studying the children, the behaviors and the interior. So this one is just like a quick like idea. Studying the weather, the climate. I thought maybe here, this green arrow, it can be like a facade. The main facade being there so that people at the parking and people here at the street get to see the facade. And the blue one here is like a sculpture. Why is a sculpture here? Because because people like to take photos from memory. So people from the My Central can see it, and when people are coming to the museum, they will spot this as well. And also the view here is nice for them to take pictures. And when they take picture here, it's gonna be shady. It's not gonna be against the sunlight, because if I place it somewhere else, it's either not a good location or not a good sunlight reflection. And this is here like just how enclosed the space will be. So since here it's facing the parking, so it's gonna be fully enclosed, fully private. And here the green one, since it's a forest view, so it's nice to be open or semi-open for an outdoor activity for the kids. So this is one of the things that how the building will respond to the landscape, to the to the context. If I have a forest here, or like I have trees here, so then why am I blocking the view of the landscape? I want to also kind of make my building an extension to that landscape. So it's going to be open here for outdoor activities, but of course going to be protected so that kids do not, run or something. So yeah, but just the idea that it's going to be like half open, for like a playground like that. Yeah, and here it's going to be semi-open, semi-private, because this is going to be like glass facing the beach. I have because if it's like fully open here, kids, if I do my outdoor activities here, kids will want to go to the beach or like run away, But I did like this quick bubble diagram where I want the management office to be here because the manager wants to get a good view. So it's gonna be like at the glass view here, and the whole gallery is gonna be here. The outdoor activity is gonna be here. Maybe a bathroom and bathroom, and also a room for the breastfeeding moms here. The cafe here facing also the beach, and here maybe like a storage place for the kids. If there's like school trip, for example, to the museum, so for them to keep their bags maybe here, and then the gift shop and reception here. So when they enter the lobby, they go to the reception at the right, and they get to see the gift shop, but they don't buy anything yet, but they notice it. And then from the lobby to the reception to the gallery. And when right after they exit, they see the gift shop in front of their eyes, so they tend more to buy things from there. So it's like in the open, it's like I enter, I see you, I'm coming back to you. So they'll be, mom, let's buy something from the gift shop. Capitalism. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually did found some studies on the museum itself, and about the spaces, how they move, the movement of kids, what places they like the most. So this is a general study that says what's her name? Yeah, a professor at Physiology. She says that neurons in the brains of young children quickly increase in number and specialization and form up to 1,000 new connections per second. When children are stimulated to, like, by learning experiences. So it's like they have a very high capacity to learn new things and form new connections in their brain. But that's not gonna happen simply if a child is pushing, by simply pushing a child in a stroller. They cannot produce such an experience. So to be effective, the experience must be self-produced by a child through interaction. So this really caught my attention, because the experience, how they're gonna learn new things at a museum, it's not by watching the art crafts, but also through interaction. So how am I gonna give that kids the opportunity to interact is by being involved in the activities. These examples that I just showed, how they can differentiate the shapes, like here, it's gonna be also, it has a learning objectives. Through these simple activities, they can learn the shapes, and like here, they can enhance their motor skills, and also like building activities. It's like it teaches them logic. This is the sculpture that I talked about. It's a bit long for kids, like high to you know, it's terrifying for them. So I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you, Heba. May I ask one thing? Where is your Nakli reference?
Nakli, I'm sorry, I did not analyze into Nakli actually.
Yeah, because at the moment, it's good that you are doing the thorough analysis and trying to understanding what is a museum all about and what is the needs of the children, yeah, which is really good. And this can also benefit the rest of your friends, which is, but now what is missing is the direction of your design. Direction of your design will need to be, you need a strong direction that will help you in managing to design the whole thing, having a specific goal, and having a specific goal. So at the moment, the things that you have done is general, it's very general, yeah, which is it's a must that we need, and all of us need this information for you to be able to design this project. But what will make your building unique in comparison to any others? You know, so that is where the concept will come in. That is where your Nakli reference will become your guidance towards your design. So at the moment, we need that to we need that to proceed. Yeah. So maybe what we can do is when do you actually start doing all this research?
When? The Thursday. Yeah, Thursday.
Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Last Thursday.
Yes.
Yeah. So because at the moment, Heba haven't really highlighted on what is the main issue. What is the main issue that you want to solve? What is the main issue? That from that issue, then we can and we can go to the next stage of solving the issue through the Nakli reference. Then we can go into the concept. So at the moment, that stage is still missing. So maybe what we can do is you can go to that stage and with all this information that you had, because I was expecting you can take the issue from the challenges that you have just now. You know, that can also be a way of us triggering what is the kind of issue that is possible for you to focus on. And so say, for example, when you say children get bored easily, or
like take maybe a few points and elaborate onto them.
Yeah. So like, for example, you say children get bored easily. You know, that is one thing that is, how do you want to solve this in making them not bored, you know, while they are experiencing your building, you know. So that alone is actually an issue to solve. And that alone is going to help you to go to the rest of the issue that is going to be that's one of the biggest issue that you have. So in making sure that the children will enjoy your museum. But now we need a direction of making that. We need a direction of making the children not bored. So that is when we have to solve it through the Nakli reference and also your concept. Yeah. So then we can have a clear direction where to go from here. Because if you quickly go into the zoning without a clear direction on the design strategy from the concept and the Nakli reference, then it will be just any other museum. I see. There will just be any other museum. So can from now you trace back what would be the best Nakli reference that would give a direction for you to solve the issue that you have at the moment. Yeah, can you do that? Because at the moment you don't have that yet.
I will do that.
Sorry?
I will do that. I actually also wasn't like no concept was coming to my mind like something specific I want to highlight because there's so many things like many challenges and issues, so not focusing on a specific scope. So yeah, I'll refer to the Nakli and study it more to derive from it.
So maybe because there's a lot of things that you have gathered, so you can pick one or two things that you can focus as the main issue, and then we'll try to solve it from there. Yeah. All right. So I think that will be it. Yeah. For the next step is for you to come up with your Nakli reference and your concept. So we have a clear direction on where we're going. From there, I'll guide further. We'll guide you further.
All right.
All right. Okay. Okay, Heba. Thank you.
Okay. I'll stop sharing.
So actually, you started your research on the 14th of Rabiul Awal. 14th of Rabiul Awal. You can start your having your Nakli reference from there. Starting with 1414. You are in your second month now, right? In your reference, referring to the Quran. Is this your second month?
Yes, the second month.
So it's 14.
In Safar now.
So is it the third month or the second month for you? You started off in Muharram or you started off in Safar?
No, Safar.
Safar. So this is your second month. So 14 ayat 2 to ayat 14 and all surah, ayat 14 can be your reference as a start, then from there we'll try to solve some of the problem from there. Yeah, okay? Okay, Meba. Okay, can we see the next one? So then maybe you can get some ideas on how your friends are sharing, yeah? Okay. Can we say who's next?
Me, madam.
Alia, okay.
Is that
okay?
All right. So, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So, I will present about my idea about Sarawak Children Art Galleries. Okay, so first I will explain about my issues. The first issues that I get is most of the exhibition in the galleries are not proportioned for children in terms of human skill. It's not anthropometry for children. And then the secondly, the limited spaces for children to play or do any activities because of the rigid space in the gallery. And thirdly, miserable circulation in the gallery will make the visitors get confused. And also the fourth one, lack of places or attraction for children to have fun while explore, especially about Sarawak culture around the Damai Central. So I come up with my Nakli. Okay, I start from 14 Rabiul Awal that I chose ayah 21 surah 14 that I chose the keyword is zalim. Zalim means not putting the right in its place. So it's restrict the children from doing something relate with my issues number 1. So from that, I will arrange the exhibition in proper scale that children can enjoy it. They can touch it or experience, see more lebih dekat lah dengan diorang. Lepas tu next so I will make the spaces not too rigid that children can do the activities more freely. Okay, so next nakli study from surah 15 ayat 15. I take the keyword disilapkan penglihatan or disihirkan. So the circulation is unclear. So visitor get confused and lost when they in certain gallery. So I have to make the gallery with clear circulation. Okay. And then next, I take surah 2, ayat 15. I take the keyword meraba-raba. And then that's less of spaces or places for children to learn or explore around the site, which is our site. There's just many resort and just culture Sarawak living culture. Cultural village. So untuk children macam tak ada yang spesifik sangat. Jadi bila dah ada gallery tu, that I want to make the workshop of classroom where they can learn about Sarawak culture deeply. Okay, and then next I take surah 16, ayat 16. The keyword I take is bintang. So the bintang, the stars as guidance to find the path at the night, as the meaning from ayat 16, ayat 16. So I will put the signage in the galleries to avoid the confusion among the visitors, and also it's to ease the visitors to go somewhere. Okay. So we'll explain about my precedent study a little bit. So it's
can you go back to your issue? Can you go back to your issue?
Gerak tak?
Kejap Just a moment. Actually, miserable escalation. Okay. We're talking about children here, right? We're talking about children. So you're saying that, are you saying that most galleries, like if you're talking about children's gallery, definitely people will be designing for children, but you're talking about galleries like in general, right? You're talking about galleries in general. So that's why you wanted to have this gallery. Sorry, it's raining heavily. I need to close my window. Just a moment.
All right.
So, okay. So we are talking about a children's gallery. So if you're saying that you are talking about the general gallery here, right? The one on top, which is not specific for children. So that's why we are actually designing a children's gallery for this, and you wanted to make sure that that's where the Nakli reference comes in, so that when you are designing, you really take into consideration the children's proportion and in their design. Okay. And then you said there is limited space for children to play or do activities because of the rigid space in the gallery. And so this is something that you really have to think about properly, because just now Heba said the children will be running around all over the place, you know. So how do we control that as well? So the issues that we have learned from there, you may want to have a look at it as well, Because if when we are creating a place that there's no limited area for the children to play, then you might want to look into the aspect of safety and or the aspect of children's running around freely. In the end, the parents will be running after them, all over the place. So when you talk about a rigid space, you might want to explain this in a more, maybe there is a better solution for it when you feel that maybe it shouldn't be too small, but it has that certain confinement in a way that is suitable for the children. So if you look at the number 4, when you say, well, go to page 4.
Oh, page 4.
So the issue number 2 is actually related to number 1 as well. Kan? So you can reduce the number of issues that you have sebenarnya, because that can be answered through 21 ayat 14, where you want to put the right proportion for the children, so that you don't design something is not right for them. And can you go to number 2 again just now? Miserable circulation. So I think the word miserable shouldn't be there. Like confusing circulation. Yeah, sometimes they do have that, in a gallery. But say, what is the best circulation for a gallery for children? So that they will not get lost within the galleries and so on. So that is where ayat 15. You're responding to that, kan? So that you don't want to create a space that is unclear, the circulation which is not clear. So you want that to make sure that the visitors, which is a majority, is going to be the children, will not get confused. And how best do you do that for the children? How best do you do that so that the children will not get lost within the space that you are providing? This is a good one. Okay, another one is, we go to the second again. Like a place of attraction for children to have fun within the area, within the Damai Central area. You're talking about?
Yeah, maksudnya kat situ macam banyak resort, just hanya untuk biasa-biasa je, bukan untuk kanak-kanak bermain. Gitu.
So then the NACRI reference that you are trying to solve that, can you go to number 4 again?
Dia lambat sikit, line saya slow.
So your the reference of 2 ayat 15, yeah, so that the children will be allowed to explore, be allowed to explore. Dan membiarkan mereka meraba-raba dan sesatkan. Okay. So from here, but 16 ayat 16, that is a little bit direct, the way that you put the design strategies, where you said put the signage in the gallery. When actually for us as an architect, we must put the architecture first that will give a clear direction before we put the signage. Understand? That is a very important aspect that you always need to remember, that tanda-tanda or the signs that you are giving to the children is going to be solved through architecture first. That means the signs that you are giving to the children, say for example, they know how to get from one point to another clearly without getting lost. Understand? So the signage that you're giving, you may want to connect them from one space to another through, say, a notes area or a sculpture, that they will bring one point to another sculpture inside the building. It's from one sculpture to another sculpture to another sculpture. So you might bring them through that, or you might guide them through the flooring design or the flooring on the arts on the floor. So use architecture solution to give this tanda-tanda panduan jalan. So it can be the wall, it can be the flooring that will direct the children from one point to another within the gallery, so that they're not lost, or they're not confused within the layout of the building. So this is quite an interesting aspect that you would like to explore, because then how best do you do this? How best do you approach this design? Like, for example, I give you an example. They have designed building for the deaf, deaf people who cannot hear. Building for the deaf is that when they have to think about the safety of these deaf people, because they cannot hear anything. If there is an alarm, if there is fire happens, they cannot hear the alarm. So the most important thing to design for the deaf is that we have to make sure that they have a clear visual wherever they are in the building, clear visual to the exit, clear visual on how to get to the exit. So when they are in the building, the walls cannot be separating them. They must be able to see people running on the corridor. They must be able to see people's movement, and they can see the exit clearly. So you can see, if you have to design a building like that, the way that you design the building is going to change. Not a normal building that we design nowadays with all the brick walls and so on. So you see this building for the deaf, they have a lot of glass walls, and the doors are different, which allow transparency to make sure that they can run if there is any emergency. So these are the things that you might think about when you you say that issue number 4. Balik tadi issue number 4 tu kan? Sorry, issue number 3 in fact, number 3 and number 1 tu tadi. How do you design for the children to make sure that they don't feel lost in the space and so on? So these are, we can actually design specifically for the children. And then the last but not least is attraction for children to have fun while exploring the Sarawak culture. In around Damai Central, there is no specific place for children to play while learning about the culture. So you are going to be the place that will provide that. So I think from 16 is where you see this tanda, betul tak? Tanda, tengok tanda tu tak ada. They don't have it. And how are you going to do it? Based on tanda-tanda yang ada. So say for example now, you have to search lagi tanda-tanda ni, because there's an important point that is coming from that ayah. Because you look at, be more observant of how people use the space in Damai Central. A lot of people are actually walking at the Esplanade area. That is where the activities are happening. So you might want to see on how you want to bring these activities into your building. So this tanda-tanda yang ada on site for you to be able to answer your objective number 4. You might want to really have a look at it, so that search on the science of the sites that will be able for you to create the best way to educate the children. So don't stop at 16. 16 continue until you got a solution to the whole design. Can we see the precedent study? What you have there?
Wait. Nampak ke? Sudah tak?
Yeah.
This one is a donut playhouse. I want to make to solve the issue that the rigid space. That this one looks more dynamic. So
I think that's not about dynamism alone, but it's actually for safety of the children because they don't have sharp corners. They don't have sharp corners. So that is also answering number one, number one and number three. Okay.
So that the playhouse actually inside the building. So the color one is the layout for the playhouse.
It's a corridor.
Yes. Sorry. So we can see there's the circulation is not too too rigid lah. It's more free for children to go anywhere. Which mean along the corridor dia macam ada tempat untuk dia orang enjoy sekali. Macam tu kan?
What are the space at the wall? What's the space over on the right that confine? Is it a classroom or what is that? On the right.
One?
On the right.
Oh, on the right. Oh, I'm not sure.
Atas yang putih. This one. Yeah.
I'm not sure.
You have to study a bit more, because this is a playhouse, so you have to understand what's around it. Yeah. So the one that you're focusing is actually on the yellow color, kan? These are the play area, the family cafe, the ball pole zone. Okay, can you proceed?
All right. So for this one is also the interior for the donut playhouse, and also the toilet itself. It have like not too rigid. It's more interesting. And for this one is for the middle one is like look rigid, but it play with the color. And then the next president is the Noah up that from the synthesis from the site analysis before. And then I want to highlight the curve shape for the interior and also the exterior for this building, and also the circulation is just direct circulation. Okay, and I also take the president from Orang Ulu Longhouse that it have decorated with mural, wood carving, and intricate detailing. And also at the middle of the house is actually the place for the chief or ketua rumah for the longhouse. So for my design that I want to highlight the middle is for the workshop and children classroom. So it's just the main attraction for them. So, and also the mural, the tree life mural that I want to also implement for my design, that it will show the Sarawak culture. Then this just other example for my interior, and also for the middle, I want to make some not in middle, maybe certain part of my gallery that I want to make the open space for children to play like this. And this one just the texture that children can play, can touch, and can feel the something at the ground and at the walls. Okay, and then I come up with my concept. Actually, this one is not confirmed yet, but I try to make the concept as the realm. realm is the meaning of realms is the kingdom or a field or domain of activities or interests, and also an area or sphere as of knowledge or activities. So in my design that I want to combine the modern and traditional style where children can experience different environment while explore and learn about new things. That I want to for my design that I want to for the exterior I want to make it more traditional, which is in macam dekat luar galeri tu saya macam nak buat dia tak terlalu modern sangat sebab dekat site tu more dia punya resort and Sarawak culture tu dia kepada traditional. Jadi kalau saya terlalu modern dia macam terlalu distract macam macam tu nak cakap. Jadi saya nak buat kat luar tu more traditional and bila kat dalam tu this more modern. Macam tu. Okay, I think that's all. I think that's all.
I think the concept of realm tu is a little bit ambiguous at the moment, yeah? Because you can have so much kind of realm, a public realm or private realm. So it's dia tak berapa jelas where the direction is going. Because when you choose a concept, it should be the one that is directing the whole design, yeah, directing the whole design. So at the moment we talk about realm, it can be so many realm, kan? So what kind of realm that you are talking about, kan? So this, looking at the way that you are approaching the building, can you ni atas ya, go back to your. Can you go back to your issue, Sisa? Can you go back to your Nakli reference? Yeah, go back to your Nakli reference. Okay, from here, siapa? Alia. Alia bulan ke berapa sekarang?
Bulan kedua.
Bulan kedua. Cuba tengok 2 ayat 14. Baca.
Dan apabila mereka bertemu dengan orang-orang beriman, mereka berkata kami telah beriman. Dan manakala mereka kembali kepada syaitan-syaitan mereka, mereka berkata pula sesungguhnya kami tetap bersama kamu. Sebenarnya kami hanya memperolok-olok. Ini akan orang-orang yang beriman.
Okay. When you decided on 21 ayat 14, is it because you cannot see clearly from 2 ayat 14 and 14 ayat 2? Is that why?
Yes.
I see. Okay. Okay, understood. So then you go through the rest of the 14 and only at 21 ayat 14 gives you an idea on how to solve it. Yeah, betul?
Yeah. Betul.
That's the process that you have gone through. Okay. Okay, yang ni pun macam tak apa clear nak bantu. Because you got to remember, not all ayah that we read will give a clear direction on solving the issue. That's why you have to search for other ayah within that dates that will allow us to solve the issue. Okay, I understand now why it gets to the 21 ayah 14. Okay, can you go back to your nakli tadi? I just want to see whether we can get a clear direction from there. As you can see, it's coming from for 16 I 16. It's quite interesting thing to look at where kenapa masuk ayat ni?
14 ayat 14
16 ayat 16. Tadi
Oh,
kan?
16. Oh, ada. Sorry.
We got that already. Yeah? So from here, actually, ada tanda-tanda panduan jalan. So I just want to see the direction where you're going. Because at the moment, when you say Riyam, it's not a very clear direction of where is the direction for your design. Because it's a bit too vague at the moment, kan? Because when you look at the daripada awal,
Ya Allah, terkeluar. Alright. Madam.
Continue. Continue with your nakli reference to get more direction on how to solve the issues that you have. Then, continue with 17 ayah 17 or ayah within 17 now is 18. So we'll try to continue until we find the right nakli that will be able to help you for your design. Kan? Okay, boleh tak?
Alright.
From there, from here alone kita dah dapat. So what you can do now, instead of doing this in text, now can you start to sketch based on your text ni? And the one on the right is actually need to be turned into diagram. Yeah, can you turn that into diagrams, not just text at the moment? Yeah, then from there nanti kita akan start to churn ideas. Yeah, boleh?
Alright. Boleh.
So okay, boleh
Thank
Alia?
you, madam.
Okay, welcome.
Alright.
Who's next? Faizal.
Ilya first.
Ilya, okay.
I'll start sharing this. So I start with the issues. The issues is most gallery lacks exploration and not wondrous enough for the children. Secondly is most gallery is not design friendly and fun for children, or it is a less interactive design. uh, I I also include that it's not sensory friendly. And the third one is that most gallery lack of the identity of the place or not responding to the context. So the objective is to let the children explore the gallery in a fun manner. Secondly is to let the children play with multiple type of sense other than touch, multisensory. The third is for the children to indulge in different type of art. And the fourth is the gallery to having a Sarawak identity. So from design strategy, terbalik, sorry. So for my naklis, start from 17 Rabiul Awal. I take ayat 24 verse 17. Dan Allah menjelaskan kepada kamu ayat-ayat keterangan hukum hakamnya kerana Allah Maha mengetahui lagi Maha bijaksana. Wait. I think I take wrong ayat. The ayat I want to emphasize the identity of the place because Allah dah cakap supaya Allah dah terangkan Allah telah memberikan keterangan kepada kita melalui Al-Quran. But we didn't take a look at the explanation. We didn't explore enough. We didn't search the meaning of the ayat. So we lose.
24. This one is the translation is actually 24 ayat 18 tu.
Itu lah, saya rasa macam ayat lain macam. Yes.
You are referring to 24 ayat 17. Allah cuba Kak, Allah memperingatkan kamu agar jangan kembali memperbuat yang seperti itu selama-lamanya jika kamu orang-orang yang beriman. 24 ayat 17. Is that what you are referring to?
Yes.
17.
So is we didn't follow the apa yang telah ditetapkan oleh Allah. So Allah pun memberi pengajaran kepada kita. And from this ayat, I also get that we need to learn about the mistake. So in my strategy, I think that children need to learn through exploration.
Actually, we talk about ayat ni boleh relate dengan behavior, perbuatan, tidak mengulangi perbuatan yang sedemikian itu selama-lamanya. Kita belajar daripada, we learn from our previous behavior and correct it for the future. So you can actually start to understand the behavior of children, so you're able to provide for them and properly, rather than the children's behavior. Yes.
So through the ayahs, I can also learn about children behavior.
When you understand the children's behavior, then you know how children love to explore and how they learn. So you can start to search on that based on this ayah. Yeah. Okay.
And then ayat today it's Rabiul Awal. From ayat 2, Surah 2 verse Al-Baqarah verse 18, mereka seolah-olah orang yang pekak, bisu dan buta. Dengan keadaan itu, mereka tidak dapat kembali kepada kebenaran. So I relate this ayat with sensory because in this ayat, they didn't use their gift or their sense. It's, I skip.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That can really direct your design. That can really direct your design. Number 2 ayat 18 tu kan. Because now we talk about children's learning and exploration. So mereka seolah-olah orang yang pekak kan. Tu ayat 18. Pekak ni kita tak nak jadi orang pekak, betul tak? For you to not to do that, that means you have to use sound and giving sound for the children. Use sound to make them learn or to make them explore through sounds and explore through speaking, understanding the dialect of Sarawak. You can have that as well, and then through sights. That means you're using your mata untuk melihat on how best you play around with the spaces. Eyes, sound, speak. Bisu tu tak boleh cakap. So smell tu tak ada. Sight and speak. That means language kan, you can learn from. There is an interaction. Speaking is where you have both party, two-way communication. Or speak ni boleh, you can actually explore the meaning of speaking. Because when you talk about being able to speak, that means being able to communicate. Communication can be through interacting between different people. So you will be able to create spaces which is like that throughout the building. So if you explore this alone, the process of having play around with sound, sights, and interaction throughout the building, this alone can be the direction of your design. Say for example, the moment they arrive, you give a briefing or through the sound, through the sound or maybe music and so on, just to make them feel at ease, So these are the things that you should be exploring between the sound side and interaction to speaking. Mungkin dalam kurungan, speak to interaction. Interaction tu dalam kurungan, communication pun dalam kurungan, which refers to speaking. It's about that as well. Okay. Music or even other sounds, that is related to the art. You can also link to the folklore stories, kan? Folklore stories is also part of the art. Cerita orang tua-tua kan. So there may be an area that would allow them to hear stories about folklores kan. So you would have that based on the sound, you will be able to understand things better. So this can be, if you were to arrange this carefully, throughout the space, they are learning through this step by step. And that will be really interesting to see on how you explore that. So this can be a start for your design.
Okay, lepas tu design strategies, I think that the first surah is to have an explorative and fun design. Like how I describe explorative and fun design is through circulation, form, and space. And then The second one is for having an interactive multisensory design, which is through color, texture, lighting, and also the interiors furniture. And then the last one is I want to put like nature and wild nature element because I want to relate it with the the context of the Sarawak, which is close to the nature. So
this is a design strategy. This design strategy sebenarnya should be coming from the natural reference lah, kan?
So I didn't found for this one yet.
Because if you go back to your naturally. So you can continue 1980. So until you solve the whole design properly. So when you talk about sensory just now, I think having a loan on this tree will be able to the way that you design even your space. For example, you want to get the best sound. The best sound is where how do you design a space which will be able to pantulkan bunyi, like for example in the mosque of Sulamania during Mimar Sinan, how one person actually stand and do the azan in the middle of the dome. He because is a dome, and also he actually put the ceramic jars inside the dome. It would allow the sound to be to become strong without any mics. The Bilal will not be using any mic, but when he start to azan, the whole mosque can hear. So you want to explore on this alone. Just that's why I said when you have a direction from 18 to ayah 18, it will create the space that you are going to design. So there's a lot of exploration of just making the sound the sensory. We're talking about sound, your sights, and also your interaction. How would that direct the way that you are going to put your spatial interaction? So from here, then that's where the design strategist comes in. So you break it down, from this Nakli, letak the design strategist which is related. Faham tak, Ila?
Ikut. Boleh ulang balik tak?
Okay. So maksudnya sekarang, when you are designing, if this ayah is going to be the direction of your design, then you can kita tidaklah just sebab the way that people are designing, semua orang akan take the advantage of design, nak buat the exploration, nak buat the children's behavior, responding to the children's punya way of thinking. But yours, you have a specific direction based on surah 2 ayat 18, which is a little bit different from the rest, where ayat 2 ayat 18 is going to give a clear direction on the playing of sound, kan? So you might want to take this petunjuk yang ada on how to explore sound in teaching the children about art. Faham tak? So how do you play about having sound in every section, or in sound tu ada dalam section yang antara section ke? So you actually explore based on these three. Faham tak? So that become the main direction for your design. Orang lain dia tak tengok pasal bunyi ni sangat. Tapi Ilya fokus on the aspect of bunyi ni. Now, so dia akan direct dari segi how you actually play with the wall to make sure that you can contain the sound, tak pergi from one room to another room, kan? So it's going to be different. Sebab bila kita nak contain a sound, you have to use a different material for your walls. or you want to use the sound to be apa tu, dipantulkan. So the material is going to be different. Faham tak? So it's actually about the exploration and how to teach the children about the art through the sound. You get what I mean?
So,
That is it's going to be quite interesting things to see.
So I think I can make the concept related to the sensory.
Betul. Yeah. So it's going to be a little bit different. Sebab different sound would sound differently if the form is different. Faham tak? So nanti dia punya the whole architecture is going to be directed based on this alone. Faham tak? So then a clear direction is you have dah boleh start to explore lah. Study pasal acoustic. Faham tak? Study about acoustic. Study about macam mana to get the best acoustic. And maybe at the end of the design is where the children are able to perform on a stage ke, kan? So that they will be able to explore the music itself. So you have this focus in your design. That will be quite an interesting thing to see. Nampak tak? Yeah, boleh?
Thank you.
Let's see what's next.
Okay, so
Sebab bila why I'm highlighting this, because bila you go into number 5, kan? When you say you wanna explore on the nature tu, you go to number 5. Okay. So when we talk about nature, let's go into the sensory related to nature. Say for example, the sound of the birds, kan? The sound of the nampak tak? Dia akan bawa ke arah tu. When you have the direction from tu ayat 18 tadi. It's not just designing about nature sahaja, but you have a direction on it. Nampak tak? Related to the sound of nature. Nanti cuba masuk dalam YouTube and you can see the sound of nature. You know how beautiful that is. The sound of the water running, kan? So you can teach them about that as part of the art, where the tribes got their ideas on music and ideas on arts itself. So they are inspired by the nature. Yeah. Okay, let's say number 6.
So number 6 is I didn't confirm yet because this is the concept that I tried propose last time, which is Neverland. Neverland means imaginary place for children. Usually children have imaginary place. And I want India imaginary place. Usually they feel like they want to be adventurous and have their own adventure. So I did like to propose that my design would be spacious, and they can adventure through all the space that there's. So tapi bila madam cakap tadi, saya memang terasa nak buat sensory sebab saya rasa saya banyak search pasal sensory punya ideation. So I will skip this. First I will change it. Then for the precedent study, I have 3. One is kindergarten in Guastalla by architect by Mario Cicinella Architects. So I can first like this. Okay, this one. So what I want to take from here is that how the space the circulation of the places, because this place it was public, quite a public, because it can be seen through from the transparency. It can be seen through from outside and inside. So it integrate the view of outside and inside, which is good due to the site context of Damai Central, because it has many good views from the mountain, from the Damai Central, and from the beach. So it also have the design is like to play with this curvy lines, which is curve is not dull.
Not what?
Not dull.
Not
Kalau curvy lines make designs not dull, not look dull.
dull. Bukan dull apa? Okay, dull. Dia bukan dull.
So because as my main objective before, I want to make the design look fun. So I tried to avoid lines that like straight lines or cube, something like that. So I like I like the curvy lines. So this is how they use the space. The space like here is from here. It also concentrate on the sound, because it like an open space, but it also cover it, like when we talk here and the others, the sound will go circulating through all the area. So
it's a different space inside, right? It's a confined area.
There is a semi-public area and there is open area. So when the open area, you can hear the sound from here to the end of the hall. So this is my first resident study, because this design is also
you took this
about.
Yeah, you took this resident study because you want to learn about how children's behavior and their play, right?
And then also the adventurous part, because even though I want to have an adventurous and spacious enough for to have their own adventure, but I don't want to be lost. So the circulation is also I interested in.
I think this is quite a good case study for you to explore on the aspect of sight just now. Yeah. That means you're able to actually see things. There is a transparency, but you're still confined within a space. Which is good. Then you know that if you want to go to, you see the activities on the other side, you might be interested to go and continue exploring from one space to another. So if this is the case where the kids are being separated by like a classroom, kan? So in a gallery, you have a different segment explaining about different type of arts. So they will be able to see what's next and what's next, So that will create that anxiety and also excitement for them to go from one space to another, because they are able to see it through But of course, they will have to go through the different confined space that you have. Dia tak boleh go through ni because it's actually being segmented. It's being segmented from one space to another, but you can still see because that will allow us to see and watch over the kids in one look, in one site, which is answering to ayat 18 just now. We talk about sight tadi kan?
Okay, so for the second one is Tamanaki Himawari Kindergarten, designed by MAMM design architect. So what I take from here is it's circulation, diverse spaces, height of ceiling, courtyard. Okay. So this is the kindergarten. The kindergarten is it having a center courtyard. So it also apply the inside and outside integration, because it has the glass inside the courtyard and also outside courtyard, so you can see inside and outside, and also related to nature because it use the courtyard as a to let the children to play with the nature. Then from the circulation, it also is easy to manage the children because we can see from we can see clearly the circulation how it goes, so the children is not confused like in a maze or somewhere. So it has nature, so the children can interact with the nature outside too in a safe environment. Then I think I want to take the courtyard from this element because and also how the how the screen how the door is also being public area, how the transparency applied from inside and outside.
I think this will answer also to ayat 18. So we're talking about sites, and you're talking about when you wanna go back to the courtyard, isn't it? That will answer because you want to make sure that you have a clear sights, and in fact, this is a research a little bit so that when you're upstairs, you can actually see downstairs as well. So a lot of you can actually solve a lot of things when you have a centralized design like this, and it's good for the children as well to monitor the children. And where you are at a higher level, or you are here, people can see that. Yeah, that's a very good example of doing that. But you have to link this idea with the gallery punya design, yeah. So this is a kindergarten, yeah.
Because yang first tadi dia macam straight. There's like a whole way from the start and to the end, but this one is like a circular, but still the circulation is can be controlled.
Yeah, clear.
Okay, and then the last one is Children Museum of the Arts, make a work of work AC. So this project is emphasized on the color. and the space users, and also I would take the interior elements like this one for the design based on the spectrum of the color. Like so it follows the for the space.
It doesn't have to be yours. That can be a way of going for yours, but you can actually explore on the boleh juga, tak ada masalah if you want to go for colours, because you're talking about the sights, the sound, and also your interaction tadi kan. It doesn't have to, you don't have to colour the whole wall, but you can actually still I think what is missing here is a precedent study that is related to sound. Yang tu tak ada lagi.
Tak sangat.
Yang tu tak ada lagi, which I think is going to be interesting when you start doing that.
So this one is a real art, a real children art gallery. So the dimension of the art.
Yang ni yang in the site analysis hari tu kan.
So I just take I want to take what element that it takes, like a slide maybe inside of the design, and the color and the windows.
I think yours is going to be a bit different lah. Siapa?
Yeah.
Sorry, Ilya. I have to look back at what's your name. Ilya. Yours is not going to be something like this. I think the third case study macam tak berapa kena dengan what you're trying to do from the beginning. I think precedent study number 1 and number 2 is more relevant. Yang ni boleh juga, tapi dia tak berapa tepat sangat lah when you wanna. Boleh lah when you talk about sensory tadi kan, you talk about sights tadi, but sights in this case is more of say you can actually explore sights according to colours, boleh, tak ada masalah. It's also possible, but maybe not too much as this one lah. Tidaklah sampai you're colouring the whole thing as blue, faham tak? Because if you want to combine the idea of the first idea, the first idea was beautiful, where you have the idea of having, you know, a clear sight from one space to another. That can you just imagine putting all the colors in here. So that will destroy the whole design, wrong lah. So it's a little different approach sikit from what you have here, and what is the third project is going to contribute. Mungkin not too much, just a little bit here and there, tak ada masalah lah kan. But having a sight through see through like this, to embrace the environment around you, and teaching the children that the culture of Sarawak is so much related to the nature. And then like the colors of the nature, you teach them about the colors of the nature. Not that. That will be more interesting to see. Because if you look at this design, you look at that design. If pergi dekat dia punya exterior, the design is organic in the middle, but from outside, if you understand what is going on with this design, tengok from the side, this side. Yang tu. You know what the architect is trying to do is trying to be organic in the middle, but dekat when you look at this from outside, it's not interrupting our views, because it has this vertical structure that is resembling the trees. Perasan tak? So that's why your eyes is not disturbed when the structure is here, because all the trees are also vertical. Nampak tak?
So it can integrate with the view outside.
Yeah, it blends well with the outside area, is beautifully done. Nampak tak? So this is one way of responding to the context of the place, which the architect has done very well. And so another way is they frame all the views around it, which is, you know, keep on framing that, can keep on framing all the views that as much as possible. But you have to remember when you are putting an exhibits, we have to also be careful of the direct sunlight. Yeah? So you have to also think about how best do we exhibit the project. So maybe the roofing shouldn't be transparent. Maybe at certain areas only is open. It doesn't have roof for the children to go out and explore the outside. You know, this is a wonderful case study that I've got here.
Okay.
So I think it's a clear direction based on 2 ayat 18 tadi. That is quite a strong direction for you. So kalau macam tu ya, when we have a good a direction from Nakli, then we know that we can explore more. Based on that alone, it's going to help you to design in a more concrete way. Yeah, boleh? Nampak eh?
InsyaAllah.
Okay, let's try and come up with some sketches related to the design strategies that you have, and then go into the conceptual model. Kan? Okay.
For the, I didn't have sketches yet, just until design strategy.
Yeah. After this, what I'm saying is
Okay.
go into your sketches. Yeah? Just bila kita sketch tu idea mula datang. If you haven't sketched, then the ideas will not come. Just start sketching, a lot of sketching. Then based on the design strategies that you have to try to just sketch until you get the best way on how to solve it. Yeah. Okay. Do a lot of sketches. Just to, I think you need one more case studies, which is related to sound again. And then we can have some solution to that in a combination of a few ideas that you got already. Okay? Boleh?
Okay, thank you.
Boleh eh?
Okay.
Okay, last but not least kan? Seorang lagi. Pak Izzah?
Yes, madam.
You have the one?
Yes.
Okay. Kan? Last kan?
Yeah, last.
Okay, Pak Izzah.
Jangan ada tengah share screen. Baiklah. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So, tak bergerak. Okay, so first of all, who is a child according to law? This is basically the definition of child. Child means every human being below the age of 18 years old. So next, first of all, when I think of Sarawak, and kids, it's all about inspiring their little minds with intriguing cultural experiences, exposing the arts and tradition of Sarawak, exploring wildlife they have only ever dreamed of, and also to try new things in Sarawak. So first of all, gonna start with the issues. First, my issue is the limited accessibility for kids for further exploration, because most art museums in Sarawak in general are large. They impose places containing a myriad of artworks and objects, just like the picture here. And this kind of exhibition often presented in ways that do not allow for the kind of exploration characteristic of young children. And also, this can also lead to kids getting bored over time because they tend to do more like movement activities, play games, and things that is more hands-on. Next is the lack of kids-friendly space. As well know, Sarawak is very rich in its multiracial culture and tradition, but Sarawak is still lacking in its kids-friendly facilities. And the third one is the indefinite heritage character, because the Sarawak heritage and identity is not clearly expressed or defined in the previous museum gallery.
Around Sarawak lah, in Sarawak.
Yes, in Sarawak. Do you hear any voice?
Yes.
Okay, let me mute it first. Nak tutup.
Bunyi apa tu? Music.
Bunyi phone pipa.
Your mic is not on, eh? I hope you're not presenting. Are you presenting, Faiza?
Tak madam, tadi tutup voice tu.
Okay.
Tutup phone tu.
Then you have to go back.
Mana dia tutup tu?
Kena
Okay.
nakli dulu baru konsep.
Tadi saya dah pindah randah. Sorry. Dapat issue. So design approved. So design approved is related back to the issue. Alamak, kenapa dia? Okay, so for the first issue, I would like to create an explorative and expressive space for kids so that they can be free and experience things. And then the second one, for the second issue, is to create a safe place for kids to play and wander. And then the third one is to expose and introduce the unique beauty of Sarawak's arts and heritage to the younger generation in the design of the building itself. So there are three keywords for the objective of this art gallery, which is explore, experience, and express. So should I go to the Nakli first, madam?
Yeah, I think you should go to the Nakli first, then maybe the concept.
So this is I found this Nakli verse on Hijri date 11 and 12 Rabiul Awal. So from Surah Toha verse 11 and 12, maka ketika dia mendatanginya ke tempat api itu, dia dipanggil, wahai Musa, sungguh aku adalah Tuhanmu, maka lepaskan kedua terompahmu kerana sesungguhnya engkau berada di lembah yang suci itu. So from this, as we can see, maka ketika dia mendatanginya, so I refer this to the kids as for the art gallery, and then lepaskanlah kedua terompahmu, yang mana dia seolah-olah macam it gives a welcoming gesture, macam nak menjemput masuk the kids into the art gallery. And then next, sesungguhnya engkau berada di lembah yang suci, which is the art gallery is going to be a safe and secure space for the kids to be free and to do whatever they want to do in the gallery. So the design approach is to create a welcoming and gigantic entrance, and then combining play, biological, visual, and movement experiences with architectural circulation and micro space to give full exploration to the kids. And then the last one is to apply kids-friendly design and facilities. And then this is Nakli verse from Hijri date 13 Rabiul Awal, which is learning art and culture through exploration. Dan ingatlah ketika Luqman berkata kepada anaknya di waktu ia memberi pelajaran kepadanya. So in this verse, Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala wants to talk about how the child is entitled to education. setiap anak-anak tu macam berhak untuk mendapatkan pendidikan, and as we are trying to give education and also to expose to the children about the art and tradition of Sarawak, the learning methods can be in many interactive ways. It can be through explorations, to teaching and learning, and also even games and play in the art gallery. So for the concept, as I mentioned before,
Ayat mana?
Okay.
Ayat mana tadi?
Yang mana?
Luqman 13. Okay, tak apa.
Luqman. Okay, so
Itu kealiman.
yeah.
Spelling mistake kan? Yang belakang tu 13 tadi. Sesungguhnya persekutuan Allah adalah benar-benar
kezaliman. Okay.
Alright. Okay.
Alright. So for the concept, as I mentioned before, for the keywords of the objective of the art gallery, to explore, experience, and express, then I get the concept of biak ampun. Biak ampun, actually biak means kids or youngsters in Sarawak, and ampun means belonging, sense of owning in Sarawak words. So biak ampun concept here act as a safe place or a judgment-free zone where kids can let their guard down and truly be themselves, to explore, experience, and also to express while enjoying the art and heritage of Sarawak in the art gallery. And it is also the state of flow and self-directed play in biak ampun, where creativity and innovation come so effortlessly from the sense of belonging. Sebab biak ampun tu macam the concept tu macam nak bagi a sense of belonging to the kids so that they can be themselves inside of the art gallery and explore anything that they want.
So betul ya, ampun ni is actually belong, but I don't know Sarawak.
Yeah, that is saya cari.
Betul? Tanya Bronas.
Okay. Or maybe kena confirm dengan Bronas juga kot.
I think because I cannot advise on that, I don't know the word. But
okay.
intention is belong, and then it's good. I'm taking the one on the right, but I don't know biak, I don't know ampun. So I can understand what you're trying to do is for the kids to feel belong and feel relaxed and wanted to be themselves in this place. Okay, all right. Terus?
Okay. So this is the first precedent studies that I found, which is the Chimlong Theatre China. For me, as soon as I look at this, at the facade of this building, I macam terus terfikir the topi of Sarawak. But I forgot to put it here. But there is one, mana?
Topi?
Dia macam ada topi yang tradition Sarawak yang tinggi tu kan?
Headgear.
Headgear, okay. So talking about the Chimlong Theatre, the Chimlong Theatre is inspired by the iconic circus elements, and the volume mimics the curves and the undulations of the tent and also the stage curtains in the circus. And then here, a golden facade covers the building with a vertical rhythmic grid that transforms into red and blue in opposite direction. And also, this gives a very vibrant playfulness to the construction, because I'm also searching for something that is explorative for the kids. So that's why I put this as one of the precedent studies. And then the second one is the Children's Museum of Houston, Texas. So here, I would like to highlight the entrance architectural approach, where they use a colorful classical facade with large letters, museum. And then there is also a rainbow, a gigantic classic facade that that has a very welcoming element. And also at here, they have like Karya Kids column, children's element, macam ni bentuk dia. At here. Okay, and then the last one is the Korea National Arboretum Children's Forest School. This one, I'm attracted to the open layout. As you can see here. Kenapa dia gerak-gerak? As you can see here, it has like an open layout to the stream on the east side of the site, where we can see the beautiful scenery and the natural elements in the surrounding. And also at the open layouts, they always like mengadakan outdoor activities lah for the kids. They have like outdoor stages, and they have cooking activities at the outdoor components and etc. So that's all. Dia tak ada apa-apa.
Ada ke dia punya interior?
Ada, tapi saya tak masukkan.
Oh, okay. What you have presented from the beginning is quite an interesting way of explaining the whole project. But your precedent study doesn't seem to answer.
Actually, I'm having like some problem to find the precedent studies because I don't know which. Saya nak pilih yang mana satu, like I don't know which one that I should put.
I think the two case study up front is not relevant to what you wanted to do.
Yang mana yang ni ada?
These two doesn't fit to your biak kampung tadi. Doesn't fit.
Okay.
You want them to feel belong. You want them to feel that it is. This is saying, don't come in. So something like that. So it's so like a wall. It gives that impression of not an inviting environment for them. Number one and number two is number two lagi lah. This one lagi tak kena with what you are trying to do, because when you say it's biak ampun, it has to be the essence of Sarawak has to be seen from outside. Yeah. So that's why the number three may have some what you wanted to do. So you have to give that. You have to portray that from the outside itself. The idea of the feeling of belonging to the site. Itu yang tak ada sekarang ni. Because the one number one tu dia tak nampak belong to the site because it says that I'm here. Faham tak? So macam like I'm here and I don't care about the rest of the space. Faham tak? You look at the building.
Dia macam tiba-tiba je kat Amanda.
Look at the building. It doesn't feel like I belong to this area. I don't feel that. But this one you do. You do. You are integrating the nature. I mean, this building is really having the tree. Look at even the outside. You can see that the tree is being integrated with the whole design and so on. So you feel that the building belong to the place. So this can be one of your case study. You need another, 2-3 that will help you to get the right approach to your design. Because when you go back to give balik your Nakli reference just now. Okay.
Yang ni ke?
Yang Musa tadi tu.
Ni.
This is actually a very interesting way of looking at it, of learning through this ayah that you, when Musa was called by Allah SWT, it's like, he came and with a proper gesture, masuk ke lembah suci tu kan. So that is what you're trying to do. You are in a way entering to a very serene area kan. You're entering into a very serene area. So you cannot put that chimlong.
Sebenarnya saya tak jumpa presiden tadi sampai tadi. Masa saya macam maybe saya letak je dulu.
Okay.
So tak jumpa.
Okay. So but you understand what I mean kan?
Faham.
Because what you have here is so subtle kan. Cara nak masuk tu buka terumpah, you know, is so respectful to the place. You want to teach the children about that kan. Maybe bila dia orang nak datang semua buka kasut kan. I don't know where they're gonna put their shoes lah, but you know, it's like that. When it's different when you can open your shoes, betul tak? How do you feel when you can open your shoes ni? Dia lain tau kan.
Rasa free.
You run around without your shoes kan, macam like you feel comfortable, you know, you feel comfortable. You can step on the sand, you can step you can step on the grass. You feel belong. That's why you feel belong. You are attached and integrated with the nature when you step on the soil kan. So these are the things that you should be exploring. And not time long. So not the second case study. So from here alone is going to give a direction to what kind of case study you should be having. Nampak tak? Yeah? So yours, macam tadi, Ilya was a little bit different. Her concern is on the sensories or concern on the sound. Lain tau dia punya approach. But yours is more of like you have to embrace the soil. The way that you're going to design this space is totally emerging with the site itself. Nampak tak? So because you have to be very respectful guys ni. Based on this ayah, you know that you have to be respectful and you're respectful and you want to teach this to the children. Because the community of Sarawak, they are very respectful to the nature. They are very respectful to the nature. So you want to teach them about this. So you have to search a little bit on how the Sarawakian influenced by the nature. Kan? They live with the nature. Because I remember going to Bario. Bario is a high place, highland in Sarawak. Meeting the Kelabit people there. The Kelabit people, they don't eat fish because there's no sea. When they are on the highland, they only they're on the highland. They only eat meat coming from the forest lah. Kan? Dia makan babi hutan, dia makan monyet, dia makan kan. So but the thing is but they do rare ikan air tawar lah, ikan keli. Dia because they have Bario is so famous with their paddy fields. Beautiful paddy, beautiful rice coming from Bario is eaten by the Sultanate of Brunei. Because the rice is very special in Bario. It's super delicious. Maybe because it is planted on a highland and a different kind of environment. But I just want to share with you on how they manage it, because what they have is very limited. They live with the nature, and you can see the dishes that they serve us is exactly coming from the nature, you know, and they don't eat things that the predators eat. Yeah, say for example, if it's makanan harimau, the tiger's food, they will not eat it. Because if they start eating the tiger's food, then the tiger will eat them. You know, so you have to. They're very careful on the way. They are within the ecological network. They fit well within the ecological network. So you want to teach this to the children, yeah, apart from the art itself. So it's going to be interesting to see that on how you start with the entrance, welcoming the children allowing them to feel free tadi, allowing them to feel free. You know, how do you do that? So you have to explore on this feeling of freedom. I still remember going to one kindergarten in Melbourne, in Sydney. In the middle of the courtyard, and it has like a courtyard. In the middle of the courtyard, there is a huge netting. You know, netting. Net, tau net?
Jaring.
Jaring. Netting coming down from the roof to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
The children are climbing the net.
Oh, very nice.
It's a kindergarten. They are like exploring the nets. Like when it's a break, you know, they are exploring the nets, going on top of the roof, coming down, you know, like having a blast in between the class, you know. So I need that kind of freedom that would be interesting to see the children to explore. Yeah. So that's but at the same time having the safe area for them to do all this. Okay. So I think there is a clear direction on what your design is going to be. But you have to take it. Jangan pergi merewang-rewang lah kan. Pergi ke Chimelong, pergi ke. So now you have a clear direction. It has to be something which is very close and respectful to the nature. So find a case study. Case studies that is like that. Boleh?
Kiranya dia tak kisah pun selain museum or
boleh. Just to get ideas. Boleh. Then you start looking into what's the importance of museum punya requirement tu penting. Museum punya requirement kita tak, a gallery requirement is important to make sure that exhibits will not ruin and all those things. But you have to know on how to design with nature. Respectful to the nature. And feeling free with the nature. Okay, Faiza?
Okay, madam.
Okay, so I think it's quite clear direction to from here. And then ayat yang seterusnya tadi, yang Luqman tadi kan? Okay, this is also very good because I nak tahu kezaliman tadi. Because kita tak nak jadi orang yang zalim when you are putting your building there. That's why the respectful just now came in, because you want to be respectful and you don't want to be putting a design which is going to destroy the place. Which is going to really blend well with the site. You are going to respect the site properly. So this is your extra advantage of because we have these beautiful views around us. So how best do you blend with the existing situation? So you want to give pendidikan ni kepada anak-anak. So that's where when you look at the way that the tribe, the aborigines design their buildings. You can go back to that. You can go to the traditional Sarawakian longhouse kan. You look at how they design that. You can look at examples of how they respond to the nature. And then it may start from there just to trigger the whole idea. At least you can have a step to start. Then you can start to explore on how best do you fit into the site and also the project itself. Okay, boleh?
InsyaAllah, madam.
Okay. So okay, I think that covers all.
Thank you, madam.
Welcome. So tak nak tengok Chimelong dah ya? Okay. So at least now you got your direction ya. Sudah boleh masuk the design strategies dah sebenarnya ya. Start sketching ya, break down the maksud-maksud tadi, terompah tadi ya. Macam mana nak be respectful. Start to sketch what is respectful daripada depan, daripada kat tengah. Macam contoh in the longhouse, they are being respectful with their elderly when they gather at the unggun api. That becomes like the center of the house, you know, when they respect the elders. So benda-benda ni that you have to at least understand and maybe bring those essence into your building. Yeah? So, okay, I think with that, any other question from the class?
No, madam.
Yeah, no?
Okay,
I
madam.
didn't have.
No, madam.
Tak ada apa-apa.
Jelas tak? On how we go about with the flow from issue to your nakli to your concept and the solution to your design strategies. Dah tahu dah, nampak tak where you going?
If I see mine.
Apa dia?
Saya nampak saya punya.
Okay. That would be good. At least I nampak, mestilah nampak sendiri punya. But of course, if you have ideas for your friends, go ahead and share. Yeah. So okay, I think with that, alhamdulillah, thank you all for your hard work, and I would be looking forward lah for the next development in your design, inshallah. Yeah. So with that, we close our session today with Tasbih Kifarah and Surah Al-Asr. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Salam. Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam.
Madam.